Hi, it's Thad with Willow Way Nursery here in Avon, Ohio. We're in the first week of August. I want to talk about some plants that have some good color right now. Here we have the Pugster Blue from Proven Winners. A really nice plant. This is a dwarf Buddleia, so if you haven't explored Buddleia in the past, there's now a lot of different variations out there. There's the dwarfs, there's a kind of a middle range, and then there's the old-fashioned big ones like Dark Knight. Some of the things that is great about this is the ultra long bloom time. This will bloom it's been blooming for several weeks and will bloom all the way up until frost basically if you let it. So we've got buds that are kind of half spent and still going, buds that are about peak, and then we've got some stuff that's just coming on here in this plant. And these things really are just selected for their heavy blooms. Really great for picking up pollinators. There's always honeybees and other pollinators in here. So great plant, attracts butterflies, moths, so you get a lot of great interest that way, and just stellar color this time of year. Comes in whites, pinks, reds, purple, blues, so you've got a lot of different color variations out there to choose from, and really easy to grow and care for. Hi, it's Thad with Willow Way Nursery. We're here in the first week of August. Talking about Buddleia here. So this is Miss Violet from Proven Winners, a really nice medium size. Again, real easy to grow, trim. We do a split trim on this because we want to keep it really peak. Some people don't find it appealing to have the older flowers on there, so you can just trim this off in a few weeks. It comes right back at flowering. But this does not need to be trimmed to keep it in flower. It'll just keep throwing more and more flower spikes up, so you constantly have new ones coming within the plant. So it's great when you see that and you get good color that way. Hi, it's Thad with Willow Way Nurseries. We're here in the first week of August. I wanted to talk about plants looking really good. It's this red scarlet drift rose. So we talked about our split trimming that we do here at Willow Way, where we're on every about 7 days, a quarter of our crops getting trimmed. And what it does is really gives us like where we're getting flowers that are opening, and a lot of buds in these that will be opened up as within the next week. So what that does, that split trim really gives us, is what you're getting is a bud and bloom plant. We're not really spent flowers. So that's a great thing when you're putting it in this time of year. People are looking for that freshness, new stock, and having stuff trimmed all the time like we do. We put that little bit of extra into it, and really keeps it so it flies off your shelves. Looks really great when you're installing it in the landscape, and just gives you that little bit one extra. It doesn't look like a plant that's been sitting around the whole season and nobody's done anything with it. So that's really why we do it, is just put that extra little bit into it. All right, we've moved over here at Long Road to another bed that we have. We have Hydrangea paniculata. This particular one I'm standing next to is Limelights. So you can see really nice white head, kind of elongates out. And then you'll get this browning effect at the bottom that kind of works its way out. Can be used for dried flowers, really long bloom time. We've trimmed these, so one of the things is we're really shaping that head, keeping it in control. Limelights is probably one of the more aggressive ones. It's one that actually grows really fast, so it does like the trimming to keep it nice and full. The other thing is this thing will rebloom after you trim it, so that's why we're trimming it. We're just kind of a split trim on the crop to keep them really nice looking all the way through fall here. Some of the other things, these are all produced in-house here, so we take cuttings and we grow this into this type of plant. So we're through a bunch of processes we can go over at some point. We run it right up and build a head in it, and then go through and it turns into something like this. So it's pretty neat to watch from a little piece of a cutting on one all the way through the whole process to get this kind of looking plant. Hi, it's Thad here at Willow Way. We're at Long Road, and kind of something we just thought we probably should mention is one of the new plants, or one of the newer plants we're growing. It's Easy as Pie Prunus from Proven Winners. This plant's a really nice plant in the nursery, performs excellent. As you can see, real uniform behind me. We do some light trimming on it, but really free of diseases and problems. We really haven't gotten any like you sometimes see in the older prunuses. The other thing, this is edible. So it does create cherries. So great plant, something you should look at. I think it's going to be a great performer in the landscape.